Hi everyone, it's Shaz with Abundant Clarity. I wanted to share one of the most miraculous stories that I've ever heard, and it's actually what led me to Ho'oponopono. Over 10 years ago, my mom showed me a newspaper article about Dr. Hew Len, a Hawaiian psychologist. The story blew me away. Apparently, at one point, Dr. Hew Len worked with the criminally ill at a hospital. Now, here's the miraculous part. He used Ho'oponopono to heal the patients without ever seeing them clinically. He saw them in passing, but never actually sat down with them. Instead of treating them clinically, he looked at their files and cleaned on what came up for him while reading their files. He said, "Thank you, I love you." According to Mabel Katz, a Ho'oponopono instructor, Dr. Hew Len said, "Just saying thank you or I love you is sufficient to clean." I personally continue to feel inspired to say all four phrases, and they can be said in any order. Yet I know people who experience peace, ease, and miracles with just the one phrase, "thank you." Okay, so back to the story. Apparently, after 3 or 4 years, the majority, if not all, of the mentally ill criminals got healed. And upon hearing the story, I felt a combination of amazement, excitement, and skepticism. The article mentioned the book that shared this miraculous story called Zero Limits by Dr. Joe Vitale, and I immediately bought the book and finished it within a few days. After reading the book, I not only became a huge Dr. Joe Vitale fan, I also knew that I needed to experience Ho'oponopono with Dr. Hew Len to see for myself whether this could actually be true. My mom and I went to Las Vegas to attend his Ho'oponopono workshop. A lot of what I learned was not new to me and reminded me of Buddhism. My mom is Buddhist, and although I don't subscribe to any organized religion, I have a deep respect for Buddhism, and many of its teachings resonate with me and have helped me immensely through difficult times. According to Ho'oponopono, all problems that arise are our own memories that need to be erased through cleaning, which is chanting "thank you, I love you," or all four phrases. This reminded me of Buddhism and karma, where monks chant Buddhist mantras, meditate, etc., to bring peace and eliminate karma. Both also seem to believe in the accumulation of memories or karma from past lifetimes and living from a state of clarity, or what Buddhism calls enlightenment, or Ho'oponopono refers to as zero state. My favorite aspect is being sovereign, where Buddhism teaches that God is within each and every one of us. And Dr. Hew Len has said that we are our own guru. Lastly, there are concepts that are similar between the practices in self-help psychology, where I often hear about the subconscious or memories or karma and how it's running most of our lives, and that many of our triggers, which are memories or karma, are our own projections. So everything is just a mirror of ourselves. This has personally helped me to grasp and understand Ho'oponopono more, or at least to the best of my ability, as it's such a profound practice that cannot really be effectively explained. Rather, it has to be experienced. It's like me trying to explain the taste of sugar, but you wouldn't really actually know until you taste it for yourself. As I clean, these ideas might continue to evolve as well. Okay, so back to the workshop. At the workshop, I put my observer hat on. At that time, the skeptic in me was strong despite reading Dr. Joe Vitale's book and loving him and his story. After all, it sounded too good to be true. Here's what I observed. Dr. Hew Len seemed extremely authentic. He was definitely grounded in the energy of not caring what others thought, and I appreciated that. For one, most spiritual teachers are friendly and pleasant, especially when interacting with their students. Dr. Hew Len, on the other hand, was a rebel, a real game changer. He was so natural and came from a childlike place where he expressed his impatience openly when it came up. And he didn't feel any shame around it. I definitely had multiple "did he really just say that" moments. This was eye-opening since I grew up in a culture where we are often conditioned to be polite and kind, even at the expense of our own well-being. For example, we're taught that martyrdom is something to strive for and has almost become a way of life for many. Apparently, Dr. Hew Len didn't get that memo or has done a really good job clearing that program. It was truly amazing to see a spiritual teacher so grounded in authenticity, and I loved him for that. Growing up, trying to be so much to my loved ones, Dr. Hew Len was an incredible role model of what it truly was to live authentically and spontaneously from the heart. Although Dr. Hew Len is no longer with us in physical form, I'm so grateful that I got to meet him. He dedicated his life to teaching Ho'oponopono and cleaning and was truly a spiritual superhero. Okay, so some of you still might be in disbelief thinking, this story is impossible. I don't blame you, as part of me is still in disbelief, and I will clean on this. All I can say is that after practicing Ho'oponopono for over 10 years, I have seen it continuously work miracles in my life. In Dr. Joe Vitale's book, he mentioned conducting research around this miraculous healing event and concluded that it did in fact happen. Personally, whether it happened or not has become irrelevant because of the countless miracles and sense of peace that I've experienced practicing Ho'oponopono. I've always been one to believe in miracles, no matter how much skepticism initially arises or continues to exist. So, after practicing Ho'oponopono, can I say that my life is perfect and there are no problems? Well, yes and no. Here's why. According to Ho'oponopono, all problems that arise are memories within me that need to be erased. So when I get triggered, I initially perceive a problem or imperfection. However, as I clean, let go, and trust, I see how everything is divinely perfect and divinely orchestrated. As I have practiced Ho'oponopono, I've often seen problems transform into solutions, and that people and situations are only reflecting parts of me that I need to clean. As I clean, I've seen time and time again that external situations shift as I shift internally. This has led me to believe that everything starts with me, and that by taking 100% responsibility, I take back my power to transcend any limitations. Taking 100% responsibility has been one of the greatest gifts that I've gained during this lifetime. Now, here's a quote that I've heard recently and I really like. It's by Lewis B. Smead. To forgive is to set a prisoner free and discover that the prisoner was you. I hope this story inspires you to chant, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Thank you for listening and stay tuned for the next video.